In this video, I want to discuss the features of a lumbar vertebra. Lumbar vertebra do not have transverse foramen, as we saw in the cervical vertebra. They do not have facets for the articulations for ribs. They do have very large vertebral bodies, and that is because of the added weight that they have to support. The further down the vertebral column you go, the more weight you have to support. So on this vertebral model, we can see a very large vertebral body. We can see protruding from the back of the vertebral body the pedicles on either side, then the transverse processes, then the lamina, and the spinous process. And those features together form the vertebral foramen. The vertebral foramen. Now here you should have a pretty good view of the superior articular facet where this lumbar vertebra articulates with the lumbar vertebra that was immediately above it. You can see from the orientation of these facets that rotation would be virtually impossible between these lumbar vertebrae. We have very little rotation in our lumbar vertebral column, but we have good flexion and extension. Now if we look at this vertebral body from the side, we can see again the inferior notch and the superior vertebral notch. Those will line up with the next adjacent vertebra to make that intervertebral foramen. Notice that this lumbar vertebra has a very short, club-like and thick spinous process. Not a long spinous process like we saw in the thorax, not a bifurcated spinous process like some of the vertebrae in the cervical region. So we can tell this is a lumbar vertebra. It doesn't have transverse foramen, it doesn't have articulations for ribs, and it isn't fused bones as we will see in the sacrum. Now if you pick this up and look at it from the right angle, you might actually view the head of a moose. So if you're at a loss and you can't quite find the anatomical features, if you look at it and it looks a lot like the head of a lumbering moose, it is a lumbar vertebra.